Hey everybody, welcome back to Terps Esports, live from College Park. My name is Lily.
And my name is Hayden. So just about every semester, the Terps Esports community gets together and forms their own kind of tournament. This is a semester-long tournament in which 5 teams have been competing for the past couple months. It's a great opportunity for some community competition. And without further ado, it is a pleasure to say that tonight we'll feature our top 2 teams within the internal scene. In the Terps Valorant Internals Finals, our 2 teams tonight will feature Team Ali finally hit rating, congratulations to him, and Team Ryan and Friends.
And just like the regular season, tonight's game will be a classic best of 3, meaning the first team to achieve 2 map wins will also win the series.
Before we jump into the game, let's start with the rules of your typical Valorant match. If you've never played Valorant before, Valorant is an objective-based FPS game where teams of 5 players compete in 2 12-round cycles against each other. The main objectives of the game is to plant and defend the spike, manage economies, and create strategic plans to outsmart your opponent and take the win.
And tonight, like Hayden mentioned, we have the UMD Internals match, and each of these teams has worked hard all semester long to make it to this very match, and they'll have to battle it out to see who will take the titles of the Terps Internals champion this semester.
So before we go into stats, unfortunately this will be our last official Valorant stream of the semester. It is really sad. However, on a good note, this semester has been jam-packed with a lot of really good Valorant content.
That's right, Hayden, and we have had just a lot of fun this semester, and there have been a lot of notable moments that have occurred over the course of the last few months. So just to highlight that, let's take a look at some highlights. Heading into the finals, Cloud left in a crucial 1v2 must-win scenario, and he's got a spike that he needs to keep ticking. He tries to jiggle peek, but there's 2 people staring down at him. He finds the first pick.
And he gets the clutch!
Oh my goodness, Cloud!
Wow!
Get their guns, realizing that like the C site is the site that they want to go into, and Justin and Moose finding one, finding 2 beautiful trips. Oh. Justin and Moose, what a beautiful duo here onto the C site, able to suppress that push with that tripwire, really slowing down that neon take, and Justin just cleaning it up.
My
beautiful
gosh.
one taps. I mean, look at that 3K. Look at him. Lilac is able, or Lotus is able to run back mid, and with any luck, they get the res off. It's gonna be very hard. We see the advantage coming up from Lotus. This could be their round. We see the shotguns coming out. Finds one during the reload. Kara able to find a second one. They don't want this game to end. Not quite yet. Able to find the third, and that's gonna be another round.
Now is left in another 1v1 situation, down 46 HP, has ultimate, but is not in a position to use it.
Oh, and JV Jones just might have great timing here. Can catch MJV off guard, and yes, contact any second now with 2
And
of
gets
them.
the double kill!
Makes contact with 2, finds 2 as a collab, but he's not done. Still using his utility to work around this cubby.
Oh my gosh! Wow!
Oh, that was something special.
He's on for the ace now, definitely. He's got to be hunting for that 5th. You know where the Cypher is, and does get that 5th. Oh. What a beautiful ace. Even Yex's reaction.
With Salamander to give the...
So we've definitely had a lot of crazy moments this semester, but I want to focus on the teams for a quick second. So to start, our Game Changers has had a phenomenal season. Most notably, they were crowned regional champions of the Division 6 NECC tournament with a staggering 3-1 win. One of those games featured the infamous 7-time round game in which your Game Changers eventually came out on top.
And alongside their championship win, they had a pretty adventurous season too. The Game Changers were invited to the Bloom LAN, which took place in George Mason University, in which they earned 2nd place. And in addition, they were also invited to the University of Delaware to compete in a show match, where they also came out on top in a really close series.
I also want to highlight our Academy team, who recently placed 3rd in the National Division 4 NECC tournament. While we didn't really see them much in the studio until lately, they've also had a very fantastic season.
Yeah, and last but certainly not least, tonight we have the chance to crown the semester's Terps Internals champion. These two teams have fought all semester long to get here, and we're going to see some familiar faces tonight. So let's take a closer look at these teams.
Sounds great, Lily. Now it's time for us to introduce you to the members of this team. Like Lily said, there are a lot of familiar faces in the studio.
Starting off strong, we have Trace. Trace typically plays on the Game Changers Premier team. She had a great season on the GC team, so I'm really excited to see what she brings to this team tonight.
Next on the roster is Moose. Moose typically plays for the co-ed Premier team, but he also subs in for Academy sometimes.
Next up, we have Napasso, and Napasso also plays on the co-ed Premier team, but tonight he's going to work alongside his teammate Moose to try to give a win here for Team Ryan and friends.
Now we have Cloud. He typically plays on the co-ed Academy team, and we actually saw him play in the studio last night to place Academy in third for their division.
And last but not least, our final player is Ryan. Ryan is the manager for the GC teams, and this team is actually named after him. Ryan and Friends cannot be Ryan and Friends without Ryan. So we're expecting to see big things from him in tonight's match.
Yeah, and we're expecting to see big things just from both of these teams because we have a pretty competitive internal scene, especially at UMD. There's a lot of very, very good players, and a lot of these players are playing on collegiate teams. So I'm very, very hyped for tonight. I hope you guys are too, and we will take a quick commercial break before we get into the action. Stay tuned.
And I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Game, or will red turn things around?
Terp Adventures. Take flight at Stamp. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform, find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the center for campus life, where Terp Adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to be heading into the series shortly, and we actually do have our map lineup.
Yeah, so the first map tonight will be Split, which is a pretty fun map to watch. And then following up, we have Ascent, and then Lotus as the game finale. So pretty good map pool tonight, I'd say. A lot of these maps are really entertaining to watch, especially I think Ascent. Just because it's been in the map pool for forever. There's a ton of different things you can do on it. A lot of different compositions that we might see, and who knows, we might see a little bit of off meta comps tonight. But I think these internal teams are definitely going to take this seriously, so they're going to really try to come out with the dub.
Yeah, I mean, tonight is definitely a little bit of fun, but also the competition's going to be high. There's bragging rights on the line, and we don't take that lightly here at Terps Esports. But as you can see, the teams are having a little bit of fun with their names. We have Team Ali finally hit Radiant, which we'll probably just be abbreviating as Team Ali. And we also have Team Ryan and Friends, which we will probably abbreviate as Team Ryan. Those teams not making it easy on us casters to have to say their names repeatedly. But as you can see, they've picked out some pretty cool team pictures.
Yeah, definitely. And we, I don't know if we mentioned this in the pre-show, but we do have Team Ryan in the studio tonight. There we are. We can see Ryan in his pretty cool T1 jacket. I'm kind of jealous. That jacket does look
Yeah,
really
that's
nice.
cool.
But yeah, like you said, there's been these teams are not making it easiest for us casters, but I think like we've had some interesting names to call out this at least this semester and fall semester too. Some of these teams have been a mouthful to say. So.
Yeah, I remember Giving Day. They didn't make it easy for us either. If you guys tuned in for the Giving Day stream, but nonetheless, hopefully they will make at least in return give us some interesting gameplay to get to cast for y'all. And yeah, like you said, the map lineups pretty standard, nothing crazy. We're not seeing a fracture, we're not seeing an icebox, pretty standard, map picks there. And I think as a result, we're going to see some expected compositions, although I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like kind of one or two crazy picks, particularly from Team Ali. I feel like, because I feel like Team Ryan, everyone is like pretty like sound in terms of their like agent comps that they usually pick here.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But I really would like to see a Waylay. We have not seen a single Waylay in studio yet, right?
There was one for one of our Giving Day matches, I think we had.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. But yeah, we haven't seen one in pro or the collegiate scene yet. But I have high hopes there should be a Waylay tonight. I would really like to see some Waylay gameplay, and then maybe some kind of off meta. We haven't seen Chamber in a while either.
Yeah, Chamber. I have a sneaking suspicion we're gonna see a Yoru tonight. I don't know what's telling me that, but I feel like we're just gonna see a Yoru at some point. Also excited to see what Ryan does, and Elite, like their teams are named after them. They gotta step up here. I don't know. I wonder if they're the team captains or what's going on, but regardless, they're gonna have to really step up for their respective teams. The team is riding on their name.
Yeah, and I mean they're also riding on pictures too. I keep looking at that Ryan picture. I don't know if you guys can see it that well on stream, but it is one hell of a picture, I'd say.
That picture is so funny. And for Team Ali, we also have, is that an Angry Bird picture? Yeah, that's an Angry Bird picture. So yeah, teams having a little bit of fun in terms of the picture they're using. And they're also, we probably, regardless of if the series gets closed up in 2, we are probably going to head to a map number 3 anyway, just for funsies. So we are already getting strapped in here for the long run. But yeah, the energy in the studio's up. We have a lot of familiar faces already. We're getting ready to start soon. I believe actually for Team Ryan, they do have Coach Dusty to give his words of wisdom.
Yeah, I mean that's already a huge benefit for this team, because Dusty has been an incredible coach throughout this last season for the Game Changers, coming up with a lot of really great plays to secure that NECC Division 6 finals.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of great moments this year, kind of like we highlighted in the pre-show. But Academy actually had a really fun stream last night, if you guys are able to catch that. And there was a prize pool involved. They placed third place for their division. And they actually are each taking home $20 for their prize pool. So congrats to them for winning yesterday. And just what a year it's been. We've had a couple of late nights in studio.
Yep.
We had
we've
that
definitely
one
had
game.
some late nights. Yeah, I mean the one I think most notable, or I mean there's a few really. You know, one being the championship game for Game Changers, but also another Game Changers series where there was a weird glitch. I don't know if it was a glitch or just something happened by mistake where the other team FF'd during one of the games, which I believe would if the game went, or because they FF'd, I don't know if the tournament rules said they automatically lost the game, but because they FF'd, we had to reset the game, so all of the stats, all of the money, all of the ult points, everything, which took, I think, close to about 40 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
I remember I had to input that because I was observing that night, and it was very tedious because the thing is we didn't have the stats for the last round, so we had to go back. At least me and Dusty, he was helping me out to get all these stats, but we had to look at the very last round on the VOD or the stream and make note of who killed who. Did anybody happen to get an ult orb during that round, and then just use any kind of information that we could to best estimate what the stats were. But thankfully the Game Changers did end up taking that. I don't know if they took that specific map, but they did end up taking that series. So that was a very, very nice relief, at least for me, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the studio as well.
Yeah, I remember they did lose that map because it was map point. So I was frustrated after we just waited an hour for one round. But hey, they won the series anyway. That's all that matters. We also had another pretty notable piece of content go a little viral for Terps
We
Esports.
did, yeah.
We had an Instagram reel, last I checked, 150,000 views on the Reckwell Instagram. So make sure you guys check out that video if you haven't yet. It's actually a Valorant clip where Tomas and I are casting. And yeah, so definitely check that piece of content out because that was a huge milestone for this program as a whole. And yeah, we also had a very great giving day this semester.
Yeah, the giving day was a lot of fun. I was able to participate in the Marvel Rivals section. I think that was pretty funny. I was told I was pretty wild in it because, you know, I like to troll a little bit. So, you know, I got on Iron Man and started to, I don't know if you guys have ever played Marvel Rivals, but you can do some funny things with Iron Man, troll a little bit. So I, you know, took it in my own hands to cause a little bit of chaos here and there.
Yeah, I sadly was not there, but I heard the rumors of that. It was very fun, and I know we had a really fun Valorant stream after you guys wrapped up Marvel Rivals. So yeah, lots of good moments looking back on this last year, lots to look forward to into the next. But for now, we have this Valorant Internals Championship on our hands, and we are into Agent Select.
Yeah, so again, first map is Split, and already we do have the Raze, Viper, and Tejo commits. Cloud being on Tejo, Moose on Viper, and No Paso on the Raze. So this is definitely going to be an interesting comp. We see kind of like an off-meta comp from Ali with the Clove Hover. They have not committed yet, but and we do see the Reyna commit. And okay, so they are going to commit to that team, which is very interesting because you never see a Skye anymore. I don't think like you really do on any map, just because Skye's kind of fallen out of the meta a little bit after her her latest nerfs, especially to the dog. But it's really nice to. I'm a big Skye enjoyer.
Me too. Me too.
I really like the whole aesthetic of the agent, which I think is really cool, and also the bird. The bird is my favorite part. So it's really nice to see a Skye, but just a Skye on Split is interesting. I don't think I've really seen much of that, especially you with my time in the studio, typically it's always like a fade or breach as the initiator.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Sky pick. Sky, in my opinion, has the best flashes in the game. You get so much information off those flashes. You could position them so strategically. And she also has that heal. So I think that's a great pick just to have fun, this Internals map. And yeah, we have the two teams starting off here. Team Ryan is going to be on the defense. They do have a Viper to help them out. They have actually a Viper and an Omen, so they, in
that
theory...
is a very dangerous comp. They have a lot of really good abilities, but Team Ali has a lot of depth. 3 of their agents can heal. You have the Reyna heal, you have the Clove heal, and you have the Sky heal on top of that. So you can take a lot of aggressive engagements, and if the Reyna gets a kill, then you can come out on top with that, or you can top off your health. Or same thing for Clove too. And Sky, just as a backup healer. So a lot of abilities already going up into mid.
Yeah, Team Ryan looking mid, but they're on the wrong side of this Viper orb, and they do not want to push through it. They're going to get back into cover, wait for it to dissipate, and reconsider where they want to push. Rewind is still sitting, waiting for a peek to come their way. They might just get it with the Paso peeking out. Rewind gonna take the kill there, backing up afterwards. And Team Ryan already a player down early into round number 1.
Yeah, it's not good, especially if you're on the defense. You don't have much players to cover the entire site, but Rewind does rotate really quickly, able to get on site really fast, and Ryan is sitting CT, maybe trying to get a cheeky kill off of this little off angle, holding the blind.
Ryan just might get pushed though. Meanwhile, Cloud drops down into hell to try and support this retake effort. Moose gets things started, finding a sheriff kill. Ryan does get taken down into CT. Will Moose be able to or Cloud be able to trade? No, and it's just a bloodbath here on site. It leaves Trace with the classic and 2 players pointed in her direction. Team Ali will take round number 1.
Yeah, I think this agent composition from Ali is definitely a very aggressive composition, which will help them, especially on the attack. We saw the last round that Rewind was able to get into mid, get space, net 1 kill, and then get out and immediately rotate around to go entry onto B site. And they can afford to take these engagements, especially because they have the Sky heal. They have so much depth in terms of health, like I said earlier, but they also just have really good util too. This Rain of Flash going up now does do a lot, especially down these sight lines.
Oh, Napaso just trying to hold any ground that he can, but is getting pushed off by a raised nade, and Trace getting killed into screens. And Team Oli's being really aggressive here, kind of neglecting holding post plan, instead pushing down Team Ryan into screens, and they're fighting because they have the weapon advantage, but they back up all of a sudden to get healed. Napaso tries to make his way onto the site, finding a kill doing so, but now it's going to be up to the rest of his team. They try to work in through screens, and they're getting killed by this Reyna. Ryan responds, and he's the only one left alive here, and he does get killed by the Reyna as well. So it's a really strong start for Team Oli, but they did have a bye, so hopefully Team Ryan can respond.
Yeah, you never know what can happen, especially in these early rounds. We do already see them buy a few rifles, so it's going to be a little bit of definitely a different change of pace. So again, these rounds are so inconsistent with how they go. You could win the first 2 rounds and maybe lose the next 3 or 4. But Team Ryan does have a full buy here, almost full buy with the exception of those 2 extra or 2 shields. And already we do see just a 5-stack straight to B with Rewind jumping on the site. No, Ryan's caught off guard.
Yeah, Ryan
Flashed.
completely flashed, caught off guard, and it leaves a completely free B site right now for Team Elite to happily plant this bomb and set up a post plant to work off of. But Team Ryan finally has those bigger weapons in hand. Like you said, how will Napaso be able to make that work for him? Into heaven, finds the pick on to Rewind, hunting for more. He's about to get swung almost by 3 of these players. Meanwhile, Cloud taking space from CT, but he's got to work around some Cypher trips. So does Trace, but Moose has the flank cooking up, and they're just going to be able to corner this Cypher, and Cloud will be the one to finally put Team Ryan on the board here, and they get to keep 2 of their more purchased weapons here for the next round.
Yeah, so now they are on the boards, and their strategy is going to be a little different this time because they only were able to keep 2 of their weapons, so they might have to play a little more passive and cheeky. I mean, that's the good nature about Split too, is there's so many different angles, especially like look at this area where Napaso is at. You have the box to the right, you have cover from the left, you have heaven, so there's a lot of different areas you can kind of stay in and get some cheeky kills off. But Napaso might peek into all of them. Most of them are stunned, but not able to get one.
Yeah, close call for Napaso there. Didn't really do much damage either, so that's a really important player for Team Ryan, already taken down. Team Elite trying to full-fledged take this B site. It's working beautifully for them. They each find 3 kills, and that has put Team Ryan in a really dire position off of a round that looked so good before. And it's just Moose here with a Phantom to work off of, but 5 players alive on the other side of this map. It's going to be a tall task for him. I guess the question here is, can he just get, a couple of those weapons down before they head into the next round?
We've seen a lot of really good Moose gameplay, especially in the last couple of games we've had in studio, and I have no doubt he might touch up, maybe not. Does get taken down by Rewind. Rewind coming in with a beautiful 3K for Team Ali. And so far, we've just seen this team five-man rush to B. They did A for pistol round. No, they did A for their buy round after pistol round. It looks like they're going to do A again. And then again, it's just going to be another 5 stack. It looks like maybe this guy's going to peel off.
Yeah, but for the most part, they have been doing these like 4 or 5-man site hits. And they're just looking to have a site that, they're able to take without having to really fight for it. And so far, that's been both of these sites. They've had a easy time getting onto site, and they haven't really had to rely on using timing of the bomb ticking down. They've just been able to be aggressive and get those kills before a retake's in order. And Rewind showcasing that, but Cloud does respond, and he's still trying to fight for any space there up into screens. He's gonna back up, meet up with the rest of his team up into heaven. Bomb comes down to Paso, almost gets a classic kill, but he does get killed, and Void is left in this corner as Moose finally gets a kill onto Void. It's gonna pick up a Vandal, upgrade his weapon. Actually, might be deadly for Team Ali. So we have Moose and Ryan here working together to try and defuse this bomb. Team Ali's being really passive right now. They're not peeking out, not giving Moose and Ryan, any unnecessary kills. The time is ticking down, and knowing that Moose is just gonna look for an exit frag, it works out beautifully for him. So does Ryan. Everyone doing their part here for Team Ryan in terms of the economy, although they do end up losing that round.
Great point you made about just doing it for the economy. I like that. I like that they realized halfway through the spike plant that they're not going to be able to get that. It's 3v2. The other team, or Team Ali, has better guns, so maybe we just play back and get exits, and that's exactly what they did, and they were able to get the entire team. Although the spike did get detonated, I'd say that's a great win, especially on a loss too, because now you're farming ult orbs, you're farming economy, you're decreasing the economy of the other team too.
Alright, how will Team Ryan start to shorten this deficit? It's going to be difficult. Now they have to dodge a Raze ultimate. Can Ryan hide from it? Yeah, he manages to escape the wrath of Rewind's Raze nade, but is he going to get overwhelmed by this push that's happening? Yeah, Ryan does get killed, and the rest of his team there kind of stuck in terms of how they're going to work up this retake. They've completely given up sight. Paso tries to peek out. Rewind answers though, and it's looking like it's going to be another strong post plant here for Team Ali. Yeah, Cloud still trying to find a trade or two up into CT, and Team Oli being really strategic about where they're playing, just not gonna, you know, give up any angles here, make it really difficult for Team Ryan, and force them to hold on to their 2 weapons.
Yeah, I think the comms are going off saying, hey, let's just save this round. But they do need to somehow get another round on the board so they're not in so much of a deficit. Hopefully the next round, or at least in the next coming rounds, Trace does get one.
Ooh, okay, Trace making it work for the economy's sake of things, but man, this is a pretty dire scoreline here, 1-5. I wonder if we're gonna see a timeout.
We might, but also look at the ults too. We have 4 ults for Team Ryan, with Moose 1 away from the Viper ult too. So they could end up expending a lot of utility and ultimates in this round just to get back on the boards. I would not put it past them to do that at least. But I feel like they need to at least use 1 ultimate this round to get anything, or to get any value or any impact, or good impact kills this round. Again, Ali just full guns all not blazing yet.
Oh, Napasso actually did use his Raze ultimate, got a kill off of it, and so did Trace. So things are looking pretty good for Team Ryan for the moment. You know, they've been able to hold on to this A site, which is what they have not been able to do in the last couple of rounds. They've really put Team Ali in a pinch here, and they're almost forcing them to slow walk heaven, and Ryan is just waiting on top of ropes for that push to come through. But Moose is on the flank. He does get killed thanks to Void though, but now the alarm bells are sounding for Ryan. He knows this team's positioning here, and he's calling that to the rest of his team, and they've effectively trapped Team Ali, forcing them to swing into A main. The alt orb sounds. Does the peek come through for Cloud? It does. Does he find a pick is the question. No, he's gonna back up and force Team Ali to use their remaining 30 seconds wisely here, and it looks like it's gonna be a full-scale rotate into the spawn here to rotate to B site. Ryan is the closest one to defend, but is he going to be expecting this super aggressive positioning? Or is he going to be caught completely off guard? Yeah, Void just runs down Ryan and buys enough time to give his team an opportunity to plant the spike. And now they've forced Team Ryan into a really unfavorable retake in a round that looked so good for them in the early stages.
Yeah, it's just a really unexpected thing to run through CT. Especially if you maybe catch 1 or 2 players on the defensive end. It's a very risky move. And here we are yet again in another 2v3.
Oh, Breach ultimate invested for Team Ryan. It pays off as Trace does get a pick, but the Clove ultimate is there. Trace finding her 3rd for the round. Can she make it a 4th to win this round for Team Ryan? Has to at least half this bomb and get off of it just in the nick of time, but it's a difficult task to do there, and that was an expensive ultimate round for Team Ryan, and you hate to see them lose that.
Yeah, it definitely was. They just need to get on the board. The biggest problem is just the fact that Team Ali is so aggressive. They can take a lot of space, and we do see a timeout coming from Team Ryan. I think this is a very good timeout. At least just to kind of slow some things down and maybe talk over. Like, I know for sure Dusty has some advice on what to do against a very, very aggressive comp, but he's probably played against some of these kinds of comps like numerous times, and that's what makes him such a great coach.
Yeah, and it's nice that they do have that coaching figure here, because typically in internals matches, you don't. It's just you and your team, your IGL's kind of calling the shots. I actually got the opportunity to sub in for Team D a couple of times throughout the semester, and they're a strong team, you know, and I know just from being on that team a couple times throughout the semester that, you know, their heads are still in this. They're just going to be talking about, you know, what they can change heading into the remaining other defense side. But I just have a feeling this team is going to really find themselves more confident once they transition to the attack.
Yeah, so like you said, you did sub in for Team D. So what's that experience like playing on an internals team? Because I haven't yet. That's my goal at some point. Hopefully in the next coming semesters. But what's it like?
It's so much fun. There's such a good community here, and it's a nice blend of everybody from different teams who usually don't get to interact with, especially me as a caster. But it's a good chance for everyone to get to know each other in the competitive nature of Valorant. And here we are into the next round. Sky Ultimate already invested for Team Elite, and it's helped them gain some space, but not if Ryan has anything to say about it. Holding his ground on this site. It's going to peek out, but does get killed. So does Cloud. That levels the playing field here for Team Elite, as they have bought themselves enough space to get this bomb down. Peek comes through for Moose, but Void responds, and he's hunting for more. It will be Eugene to get that pick on to Paso. Leaves Trace in a really hard position here, getting flashed from all angles and eventually taken down by Eugene. And Eugene, we haven't heard that name in a while in this studio. It's nice to have him back.
Yeah. No, yeah, he definitely a really good player from the Premier team. And yeah, like you said, we haven't seen him in studio in a while, and it's nice to know that he's still cranking some kills out, especially on Sky. I don't know if Sky's like his main or not, but he's already got 12 assists, which is crazy.
Yeah, and he's definitely using that util to his advantage, using that heal to help his team out, and it's paying off for Team Elite.
Yeah, like you said a little bit ago, Sky's Flash, I do have to agree with you, that probably is the best Flash in the game because of its just ease of use and the fact that you can position it anywhere you want to. So if you wanted to flash high, you can. If you want to flash low, you can also do that. Moose taking a few shots, but also dealing a massive amount of damage to the enemy Reyna.
Yeah, and this round's going a lot slower than what we have typically seen from Team Elite. They're not going to 5 rush any site. Instead, you know, that Reyna did take a fair bit of damage to start things off, and that really did kind of slow them down. And I really do like Moose's positioning for Team Ryan here, just sitting patiently into Rom, and he might hear some footsteps come through, but no, Team Elite's gonna be really, really quiet, but he sees the Sky Heal, so he definitely knows something is up. He might get pushed actually by Eugene. He's gonna peek out into Robin, and Moose does find that kill and hunts for the second, but Reyna responds. And now Moose able to calm to the rest of his team about the whereabouts here of Team Elite. And they've actually worked their way up into mid. It's gonna force the passer to peek through that clove smoke, finds a pick, but he does get traded by Void. And Teo ultimate invested, and time is ticking down. 10 seconds left for Team Elite to get this bomb down. Are they gonna be able to make their way to site in the nick of time?
And they are.
Yeah, just about gonna get that bomb planted. And here we are in yet another retake. This time it is Trace and Ryan with, you know, decent weapons, but still they've got to take some space here and get working on this bomb. Oh no, Ryan accidentally flashed his own teammate. And how will that, how will the rest of this round unfold? Ryan drops down, is looking for a kill, and the Marshall will be Traced though to find that trade. It's not going to be enough though for Team Ryan.
That round was just really close. It was a matter of maybe like 50 or 0.5 of a second. And I mean, Team Ryan needs something to get back into their groove. I think once the half changes for them to go on attack, they might find some sort of sitting, because from my standpoint, it doesn't look like Team Elite has a fantastic defense in terms of like agent utility. Maybe with the exception of the Cypher, that's just about it.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. If it's anybody's game still, especially if Team Ryan can clutch up on the attack side of things for now. It's just so many shots being fired into mid through smokes. Moose on the receiving end of some shots there by Rewind through those smokes. That's going to lend Rewind to try to make his way towards this B side where Ryan is sitting and waiting. Throws a splash, peeks out, gets a pick. Though he does end up getting traded. Still Cloud able to down Spike and is still trying to fight to keep that space into Garage. But he's getting backed up into the attack spawn almost. And he's just kind of left fighting for his own life outside of Garage. And Team Ryan has really pinched Team Elite here into Garage. Napasso is going to peek out. As a result, he gets 2 picks and downs the spike in the process. It's just going to leave the Reyna, who is going to use their ultimate. But if Trace and Napasso here could just play time and play their position wisely, they might be able to give Team Ryan their 2nd round win.
30 seconds left.
They got to play really calm here. Going in, at least in my opinion, going against the ulted Reyna is definitely definitely set some nerves off. If they can play this, they only have 15 seconds left, and I think the Reyna might just sit back in main. No, they're going to go for it, but Napasso already in a really good area to get this Reyna. Oh, but the timing!
Oh, the timing just doesn't work out for Napasso. Here's the spike being planted, peeks out, and that will give Napasso 3 for the round. And Team Ryan their 2nd round win on the defensive half.
Yeah, much needed round, and it can only look up from here.
Yeah.
You know, if they can get to 4 rounds, they'd still be in a very good area going into the next half. Like I said a little bit ago, the composition for Team Ali is not the best on the defensive side, so they can definitely take advantage of that and use the fact that you can't really spread their agents along everywhere across the map. And Napasso does get a very nice aggressive kill.
Yeah, he did a lot of damage to Rewind too. I think he just literally stared 5 players down and had the discipline to just take one. He's gonna throw his Raze Rocket to get another, and it does a lot of damage to the Clove as well. Napasso's not done, but he does get stopped by Eugene, although Trace able to back him up with that trade. And suddenly Team Ryan having 2 really strong rounds off of a losing streak. So maybe this is an indication of how they're going to be able to flip the script once they transition to the attack side. But they've really kind of trapped Team Ali here into A main, and with Cloud selling them out with that Teho utility, it's going to make things even more difficult. And they're just completely trapped, and Moose is running, working on that flank too. So, you know, they've got to push sooner rather than later. And it looks like that may happen right in front of Cloud. He's just waiting for a swing to come through, gets an eye onto Void, and does get that pick. It also has to deal with the Cypher. And there we go, Team Ryan staying in this thing. And wow,
And that is a beautiful finisher too. I remember seeing that come out just a little bit ago. But yeah, let's check out this replay. So Cloud does get that original kill, but his first instinct was to look main, which I think was a pretty good instinct to have. You never know if they're gonna double up on ramps, which they ended up doing. But now this is getting Team Ryan on the boards, and it's definitely within a winnable score now. Once the half changes and we're going into the last round of this half.
Yeah, Rewind not liking how that Raze Ape was used against him in the last round. It's going to pop it. This round not going to get a pick off of it though. Moose pushed out of position here and is kind of forced to give up sight. Napasso's cooking up a flank along with Trace, and they've still got to fight for more space because Rewind is holding it, and he does find the pick on Napasso. Trace able to get that trade though, and Cloud making things work in from screens as well. Just what a beautiful retake so far from Team Ryan. Clove ultimate invested for Team Ali, but it's just the Clove was left alive not for long as Trace gets that pick. And we've seen just a second kind of life come for Team Ryan all of a sudden. And hopefully, if you're a fan of Team Ryan, you know, they can carry that into their attack half as we switch sides.
Yeah, definitely really good turnaround for Team Ryan. And I kind of want to highlight Moose here. The really nice thing about Viper is that you can activate her utility from anywhere on the map, which makes her a fantastic lurker in place of, you know, in the event you don't have a Sentinel, in which they did not. Now I'm just realizing that they did not ever have a Sentinel, and they just did a double initiator, double controller in place of a Sentinel. But very good turnaround from Team Ryan. Now, this does make things a little interesting because they have a lot of really impactful utility. So going in on the attack side is definitely going to be a little weird, but they can 100% combo their utility to do something crazy. And we do, again, see Moose on another lurk.
Oh, with that Sky Flash, though, Team Elite does not know that's a lurk for sure until all this utility comes pouring down on the B side when the alarm bells will sound as Napasso, Trace both getting killed. Ryan finally able to get a pick for his team. And it's just a bloodbath here right outside of B Garage. Spike gets down, Ryan able to pick it up and run to Moose for some help there. But man, what a chaotic start to this round, and Ryan's getting chased down, and he's actually got to fight for his own life as Moose does get a kill, but Spike is down in attacker spawn here, and now that leaves Moose in a really difficult position. And also, if you guys did not know, Moose and Ali are actually brothers, so a little bit of a brotherly feud potentially cooking up. I know, they're definitely competitive, and Moose catches an eye on his brother and is closing in on him with the classic, and will get that pick gets swung by Eugene right after.
I was gonna knife you. Eugene's walking up.
We do hear some of their team chat saying Moose was gonna go try to knife Ali, and that would have been a really interesting thing to see, but sadly it didn't happen. Maybe we'll get a few more moments like that. But there definitely is, like you said, there definitely is a competitive edge between the brothers.
Yeah, I saw Moose thinking about it. I can see the wheels turning. And hey, maybe we'll see a knife later for the brothers. But for now, Team Ryan's still gotta fight to stay in this game after losing that last round. So they're looking like they're gonna default. It doesn't start off on a great note with Moose getting killed by his own brother, and then Napasso also getting picked off makes things look, even more rough for Team Ryan. They do still have spike control, so they're gonna use that to their advantage, and they're gonna be really quiet and really stealthy as they are looking like their only option here is to work into mid. They only have classics. So they're going to have to hit some insane shots here as Void looks like he's about to peek out. And, Cloud just trying to use any of that Teho utility to make things a little bit easier. And, they've just got to be really aware of his positioning into ropes. And it looks like Cloud's about to be pushed. And he does get killed. And Ryan and Trace just have to accept their fate into mid here to put Team Oli at double digits.
Yeah, they are able to buy up guns now. The only problem is Team Elite were able to save all of their guns, so they have a Guardian, Bulldog, Marshall, Spectre, and Stinger. So still a very good lineup for guns. Not the best, but still, at least on a defensive side, that Stinger can do some massive damage, especially with the Reyna ult, since you do get the shooting or the rounds per minute boost. And it's just a machine. When you get into the Reyna ult, you get that boost, and you maybe hold the trigger down for a second, and you're already through the entire mag.
Team Ryan coming in on a buy round. Looks like they're trying to make really fast work here of the east side. Napasso swings and gets picked. His nade, though, does trade him, ironically enough. And now Team Ryan has completely lost bomb control, and they're smoked off. And this round suddenly is looking really difficult for Team Ryan to get back into, especially in the face of this Clove smoke.
Even if they do take out the Clove at some point, it's still going to be really hard because Clove can still smoke from the grave. It is a 4v3 right now, so they might have to reposition a little bit. And we do see Moose trying to reposition up through mid, but gets taken down by Rewind. Rewind is just having a fantastic game, and Ali shoots one, or dinks Cloud, not Cloud, Ryan.
And still, Team Ryan does not have any sight of this spike, and they only have 30 seconds to make that change. And Ryan is down to just a little HP, and that means Rewind will be able to do the cleanup job there. And Team Elite is knocking on the door at this point, and they've got that Reyna ultimate online, and like you said, that could be a really influential ultimate to have.
Yeah, Rewind having a really fantastic game, and we do see another timeout coming from Team Ryan. I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, it just seems like nothing's working.
Yeah.
They've tried defaulting, they've tried these fast site execs. They've had they just had when it seems like when the round has not gone their way in like the early stages, it kind of all crumbles. You know, they lose spike control, and you know the rest comes crumbling down. So I think it's really a matter of, you know, how can we all get ourselves on site at the same time, you know, and really put ourselves in a post plant, you know, because we haven't really seen them yet set up a post plant.
Yeah, and if they do get into a post plant, they have a fantastic composition for just delay. They have Breach. All of Breach's util is great for post plant, especially the fact that you can recharge the Aftershock after, what, like 40 seconds. The Tejo rockets, the Viper Molly, the Raze nade, the Raze like satchels, everything. You have such a good post plant, but you just need to get the bomb down.
Yeah, 100%. They have so many smokes. They have Viper. They have, you know, they have a lot of utility to really close off site for any retake efforts, like you were saying. So being able to just get on site is the battle at this point. We are into the next round, so bear with us. Yeah, here we are, and it actually starting off on an okay foot here for Team Ryan. They've managed to hold on to the spike, but they haven't made their way onto either side. And like we've been saying, that seemed to be the issue for them. So it looks like right now they're favoring this A site. They do have Moose's wall to work off of if they so choose, but still Team Elite in position to have a good read on any shenanigans going on A.
I do like this retake, or not retake, but reposition. They just got to be really careful about this Reyna. About Ali sitting up with a really interesting off angle. Ali does get one.
Yeah, just like you said, they were not expecting that positioning. Finally, Moose puts a stop to things and has bought his team a lot of space here on this site. But Rewind's actually immediately peeking through that Viper orb, but Boost does respond there. And finally, we see Team Ryan in the position to hold down a post plant potentially. And this is really their chance here to start their team off on a good note to get on a run, as Trace does get that pick. Although Ryan does get killed, it leaves things at a 1v2, although the Clove is only at less than half HP. So I think if Team Ryan here could just really play time, really play their positioning, play their util here, this should be a win, and it will be, as Moose is the one to close it out.
Yeah, see, when they get to spike, they win. They have a very good post plant, and the nice thing is the agents they took out beforehand were their best retaking agents. So killing that Reyna or killing Ali, especially early in the round, and then getting the Sky too, Eugene. Those are really two crucial kills, at least to kind of stop a retake, because one, you don't have any flashes, but you don't have this really aggressive duelist from Reyna and Cloud able to get two.
Just with that Teo ultimate alone, just absolutely demolishes anything in its path. So that's going to start Team Ryan off on a really good note here, but we'll rewind, put a dampen to all of that. Clipasso satchels onto site, gets two for himself, and plants the bomb in fashion here to only leave Ali in the face of a 1v4 retake. Napasso looking like he's going to make contact there, and what a round for Napasso. Oh my goodness.
What a round indeed. You know, that was like some Top Gun Maverick gameplay that I just watched, with him flying right over both of them, and yeah, we can see him getting this last kill. Beautiful headshot, just really well. Really good placement of his crosshair.
Yeah, and that's, you know, Team Ryan staying alive. You know, the scoreline, although it's not looking great, you know, they've had a run of 2 rounds here. And can they keep that going now that their economy is in a better position than it was pretty much all of last half? So starting this round off, almost 5-man rushing, trying to overwhelm Eugene onto site. The pass is going to satchel in and does not clear behind. He does turn around eventually, gets Eugene. Moose also getting a pick there, so that's going to really open up site here for Team Ryan, and they're going to use Moose's Viper. Oh, nope, going to save it for later as Ryan gets that pick onto Void, and everything is falling into place here for Team Ryan. Only 2 players left between them and 7 round wins. But the job is not over. They just have to play. They have to play their timing here. They have to, you know, not peek out into any unnecessary angles, and you know they should be on their way. It looks like Team Ali just kind of, you know, letting this time tick down. Maybe save, you know, whatever weapons they do have. Kind of an exit pick. Moose and Cloud, though, are not going to let that happen, and they will be able to hold on to those 2 ultimates for Team Ryan in the next round. I thought Moose was going to use that Viper ultimate, but he held off.
Yeah, I thought so too. I think that was a really good choice too, to save the ult, because now I think Team Ali is in a save round. I don't think they were really able to buy or full buy last round either. Yeah, and they are in a save round, which is great news for Team Ryan. Maybe we do see a Viper ult invested in here, since Trace and Ryan are very close to getting their ults too, and just to secure this round and, you know, try to make some sort of snowball effect. But it doesn't seem like they're gonna expect this three-man defensive like walk straight down mid.
This is so strange from both teams, just playing really strangely and somehow completely missing each other. The timing just worked out so nobody saw anybody, and all of a sudden the spike is planted here on B site. Rewind might have a really good timing, yeah, on Cloud, and now he's gonna meet up with Ali here to try and work out a flank, and Trace is left to defend against these 3 players. She does find a pick though, and is trying to hunt for another as well, with Ryan to help her out there. And Team Ryan has really held their ground here so far on this B side. Moose, thinking got that kill earlier than he did. Finally does get 2 though to help out Team Ryan even further. Eugene trying to make his way into heaven. Napasso does not want any part of that. And this game is not over, man. You know, we thought it was all said and done for Team Ali, but Team Ryan is inching back into this.
Yeah, and I think it just stems from the fact that Team Ali just doesn't really have that much of a defense at all. I mean, it's nothing on their skill. It's just the fact of the ancient composition. They were able to take a lot of rounds on attack, but once Team Ryan started figuring out where exactly their like weak points are and their vulnerabilities, then it started to look up for them, and now they have a really good fighting chance. They have brought this within 3. They have a few really impactful ults to use, and I think Trace might also have their ult coming up pretty soon too. Ryan might meet all 3 of these players in mid. Spots 1. Moose is able to get the Cypher on site.
Oh, and Ryan does spot the Reyna peeking in. But still, so far, just a trade on either side exchange, so pretty even in that regard. Although Moose has used this Viper ultimate here to buy Napasso and himself a little bit more coverage, so Eugene gonna use that Skydog to try and sell out that positioning, but Trace is actually about to maybe get sandwiched because she does have somebody working up her flank, and it will be Rewind there, who comes in with a killer flank to find both Ryan and Trace to put Team Ali here at map number 1 point. And they finally put a stop to this kind of crazy run that Team Ryan was having.
Yeah, Team Ali definitely has to be in their comfort zone now. They can at least send this to overtime, but they're looking to just take it now, take map 1. They, sorry, I'm looking at Team Ryan now. Oh wait, never mind, it is Team Ali. They have a lot of ults to use, and Rewind is 1 ult point away, and we've seen that he's been able to do some crazy plays with the Raze rocket.
And he's having a great game, 22 and 13. So he is not playing around here in the Terps Esports Internals Finals match. And will Moose be able to spot his brother just trying to be a little bit aggressive into mid? He might get swung by 2 players here. It's actually Eugene who he's going to make first contact with. He does come away with that kill and hunts down for mid, although he does get killed there. And meanwhile, the rest of his team benefiting off of the distraction that lurk kind of caused and have found their way onto A site. Now Trace gonna actually aggressively use that breach ultimate to give Cloud the edge here in those fights, although Cloud not quite able to get a kill, down to 30 HP, is still kind of in a really awkward position on this site here as Team Ali is trying to make this retake work. Trades come through back and forth, ultimates thrown left and right, and it will be Team Ali to take map number 1.
We did see a very good effort from Team Ryan to get back into this game. I think things looked really down for them in the first half, but you know, once the energy was there, once the motivation was there, then you definitely have a fighting chance. And that is it for Split. We are going on to Ascent, but we are going to take a quick commercial break before we continue the action, so stay tuned.
name is Subin Kim. My in-game name is Carrots, and I'm the controller of this team.
My name is Hannah. My IGN is Tuxedo Sam, and I play Sentinel for the team.
My name is Sima. My in-game name is Care Bear, and I'm a flex.
My name is Megan. My IGN is Giraffe, and I'm an initiator.
My name is Sophia. My IGN is Soap, and I'm an initiator.
Hi everyone, I'm Ayush. My in-game name is Dulce, and I'm the coach.
For me, I think it was just really interesting to see like our names on like social media and like on a website. I'm just like, whoa, my name is on a website but so I think that was like the number one thing that kind of like just it brought the realization of like what kind of team I'm in, like what kind of position I'm in.
Meeting them. It's like hard to make a woman and non-binary friends in Valorant, so it's just really nice that we have like a team specifically for that.
The studio.
Yeah.
Oh, the studio. Oh, I didn't even know that existed. I didn't know that existed until like remember like when we first talked about the studio, I was like, what's that? When I first went to the room, I was like, oh, there's cameras and lighting. I'm just like, that's
nice computer.
Nice computer.
The monitor is
So
crazy.
true.
Winning.
Yeah.
Oh, so true. W winning.
Getting into that.
Yeah, that
Yeah, I feel like
was pretty cool.
hey. I would say supportive is definitely like Dusty and Rachel. Those two, just like making sure we had scrims down, making sure we had practice schedules down, like Dusty making sure like to pick out what we did wrong, just like, you know, helping us improve. I think definitely.
Yeah, Dusty's a very present coach, so
Very.
it's like he's really reliable and helped us through the whole season.
Thanks, team.
Yeah, you'd even like schedule things for us,
like organize all the schedules.
help us map bands and like talk to
Stats,
them
yeah.
if like realize if one of them was like unranked or something. Breaking
Forfeit
a rule.
teams.
Making teams forfeit.
Maybe we don't talk about that last part.
I would also say like our fans in chat, like on
Oh,
stream.
true.
So it was nice knowing
W
people
chat.
watching us.
And the haters.
Oh yeah.
Improve in the higher division.
Yeah, it is definitely more challenging because we're in a higher division now. But I think we could, like, with our coordination, I definitely think we could. We need to bring home another one of these.
It feels great.
You
Yeah.
guys know this is the first title that Terps Esports has won.
Wait, seriously?
And by women.
Oh, seriously? Oh,
First time.
cool.
I like playing Valorant.
Have an excuse to play games.
That's true. That's good.
For me, I joined because, well, like I've always wanted to be on a women's team, especially like since I got to UMD, and me and Dusty had always like tried to make teams work every semester, and this was the first time it actually did work and stuck, and the people who tried out like were committed. So I guess I've always just wanted to be on a women's team to like connect more to that community.
To make friends.
So I had that gap, you know, without a team for a while, and then I saw the form, and I was like, I really want to try this. This sounds fun. And then, yeah, I play Valorant too much. I mean, first of all, I did not imagine me being IGL when I first started, because I am, outside of my Lilac team, I am known as the no-brain, only aim chamber in comp. So I did not imagine myself being IGL. But like, I think it's like, there were some difficulties in the beginning because no one, like, I wasn't used to giving out comms. I was just very confused. But I think now it's just like the amount of trust that my teammates give me when I give out comms and the amount of like coordination that we have. Like, I just love being like IGLing because I trust that things will work out.
known as Sind, and I'm an initiator player for the Valorant Premier Team.
I'm Kazu, and I go by NJV, and I'm the coach for the team.
I'm Richard, and I go by Pickle Richard, and I'm the duelist player.
Pretty fun. I definitely liked all the guys I was playing with. It's fun to get in the server with them. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a challenge balancing it with other things, but
yeah,
it's definitely something that I enjoy doing a lot.
Yeah, making like all the friends that we made through this team, so it really makes me happy. So it's like really awesome that we did this.
Yeah, I think I had really fun times on this team. I played well every single game.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I think my favorite moment was map 5. I think that was a really fun match.
The grand finals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
the
was
grand
fun.
final. Yeah.
Remember what map it was?
I don't remember that.
Oh, it was Sunset.
Yeah.
And you played Raze.
Yeah, I played Raze.
Yeah, no, that map was really intense. Like, it was super, super hard. The pressure was definitely on. Like, it was super late at night. It was like midnight or
It
something.
was very late. It was
1 a.m. or
like my favorite one was probably the first match of the season.
Oh yeah.
First time in the studio together.
Oh, in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. It
That
was
was
like
fun.
fun seeing all the Academy boys in the studio. So that was sick. Yeah.
My personal goal is I think I'm gonna try to hit Radiant this season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can. I think it's definitely to win Big Ten right now, and then place top 8 in CVAL. That's our goal.
Top 8 CVAL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Ten is definitely the thing I'm most interested in seeing.
Mhm.
I'm not flying out, but hopefully, or the boys do well over
Hopefully
it.
we win.
Where is it?
I-
OSU? Ohio State?
Yeah, in Ohio.
Ohio.
I promise at least second place.
At least second place? I think we can win it.
I think we can win it too.
I think we can.
We gotta
win
be
Big Ten.
humble.
Everyone, we just we can't get complacent.
Can't get complacent. Never that.
That's a good one.
Go ahead.
Honestly, like unironically, I think Kazu is a very fun person to have in the program as like an emotional leader. Even though he doesn't always, sometimes things can get a little disorganized with Kazu at the helm.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
For as much flack as we give him for being terrible at the game, he's actually
Yeah, if you watch our
he's
games
actually a very
while I play, you'll be surprised. Like, I hear House is guy my coach a lot.
Yeah.
Like, a weird amount of times.
But I think Kazu's a great addition for him. I love that.
Yeah, I love
He's
how
great.
You love Valorant.
He's very wholesome.
He is very awesome.
Yeah,
He's-
Radiant, remember that.
I'm ready to remember that.
Yeah, his timeouts have improved a lot too. As someone who's seen him coach over the last like 2.5 years.
Yeah, I
your
coached
your
him
old
for a while.
timeouts were.
Yeah, that was when I was
great.
a little baby boy coach.
Yeah, but now he's improved a lot.
Yeah.
I really like having him as a coach.
Thank you, Gregory. Wow, this is great. You should do this more often.
That's the most praise you've ever heard.
He got an ego boost for free today.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Hey guys, welcome back. We are going into round 2 of our Valorant Internals finals tonight, and I'm super excited because we are on Ascent.
Yeah, this is a classic map, and there have been changes. The changes have been there for a minute now, but just in case you've missed them, B site, it's no longer wall bangable into B garage. They did revamp that door that's there, or that wall that's there, so that you can't like Odin spam it anymore. But regardless of that, it's still a classic map. It's a pretty well-liked map across the board. I'm hoping we see a KJ because this is a good KJ map, and I love KJ. Yeah.
And we
yeah.
already do see a KJ, but we see an ISO too.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, so we do see an ISO pick that's gonna, kind of gonna be the out-of-pocket pick for Ali picking that ISO, and then looks like for Team Ryan, who's actually gonna be starting this one off on the attack. Mostly like pretty like standard hovers except for the Phoenix, although I suspect that might change eventually. But yeah, so yeah, we have a KO locked in. KO is a really great pick on this map as well. And for the smoke pick on both sides, looks like we're gonna get an Omen.
And Moose does opt into playing Cypher. I would have liked to see that that Phoenix pick. It's been quite a while since I've seen Phoenix on Ascent, but from what I remember is there's a lot of really good utilizations for Phoenix to get a lot of space, especially on that B site too. And yeah, but it's a pretty standard comp on both sides with the exception of the ISO pick. Team Ryan opting in for probably the most standard composition. I would argue that you could either throw a KJ or a Cypher in there as the Sentinel. Either one works. But sometimes, both of them have their strengths, obviously. But I'm really excited to see this ISO. I think it's been quite a while since we've seen an ISO at all in the studio. Or I haven't seen an ISO in quite a long time.
Because ISO got buffed a while back so that his shield was pretty much indestructible. Then he got like semi-nerfed back to a little bit better than his original state, but still definitely that nerf affected his usability quite a bit. But yeah, I mean this it's all for fun here, so why not try out that ISO pick. And it does look like, yeah, Team Ryan gonna be on the attack this time, so that's different than what we saw in Split. So hopefully, if Team Ryan can kind of set this pace a little bit better than they were able to on to Split. And then start things off by looking into mid. Rewind speaks first, Cloud responds, although he does get picked off by Eugene. Spike down, but able to get picked up by Team Ryan yet again. Ooh, what a shot from Ali there to take down Grayson. He gets caught trying to get it all, or Ryan peeks around that corner, and also on the receiving end of a crazy Sheriff shot there. So Moose just trying to mediate some of the damage that's already been done. He works in from tiles. He does get a pick onto Eugene, but still he has a lot of work ahead of him here and a spike to retrieve.
Yeah, both Void and ISO have Sheriffs, so it's going to be quite hard for Moose to gain any ground, because if they're looking at a very specific place, then it's 2 shots and it's over.
Yeah, just a timing here into mid would be enough to catch Moose, but no! Moose takes a lot of HP damage, but is still alive. Gonna use the cover of his cage to potentially have an unexpected swing, and he gets shot into his own cage from Void. And it is round number 1 going in the way of Ali.
Yeah, I think the 3 Sheriffs by... I think there was at least 3 Sheriffs on Ali. There may have been a little more. Definitely a lot of damage that can be done, and that's something you just don't really see on pistol rounds. It's a very weird play style, but a lot of times it is very rewarding because one, you get a Sheriff for the next round, and the Sheriff is also a very good gun to use against, or to use for a buy round, where you can save up just a little extra money for a rifle. But just the fact that the Sheriff does 55 to the body makes it so much easier to pair up with somebody and take out a lot of a lot of different players assists, and you see Team Ryan trying to make their way up through B.
Yeah, they do get smoked off though. Moose tries to make some space into Tree, and he does get killed, but the rest of his team just trying to work off of that space that he was able to get into mid and potentially avenge him. Looking into Tree, where Void is still positioned, and oh no, Team Ryan's gotta beware of this flank, and it catches Cloud off guard. And still Aaliyah's working down that catwalk there as Ryan is able to get a trade there. And he's still working into Tree as Trace is able to get another kill as well. But right now it's all down to Ryan and Trace here to make this A site work. And they're bunched up together here up into heaven as Ryan does get taken down, and so does Trace. And Team Aaliyah, you know, getting to keep 3 of the weapons that they bought up.
It's still a pretty good try from Team Ryan. So pretty good shots by both Trace and I forgot who killed the other. But it is buy round for Team Ryan, and they are buying up full guns, probably full util as well. Maybe with the exception of No Paso, but.
And here they are, they're positioned outside of this B main. You know, Napaso able to buy up a gun there and is trying to get value off of it. He does kill the KJ, dashes back onto the site, and it's completely cleared out B site for the most part. Cloud just kind of left to fend for himself outside of Market there. He was waiting for door to get closed, and now he's just got to focus his efforts into CT. Trey's gonna use her throw to try and help Cloud out as Cloud gets a pick and is hunting for another up into Market and does so in style. And now he's set up his team for a really good post plant here. They're just spamming down CT through Ryan's smoke.
If they can hold on to all 5 of these guns, this is going to put them in a really good spot for next round. But one gun is lost from Cloud, but there's just one player left, and Napaso does clean up the round on Void. So now we have a game.
Yeah, Team Ryan responding a lot earlier here on Ascent than they were able to do on Split. And look at their buy now, you know, they've held on to a lot of those guns from that previous round. And while Team Ali is also able to buy up, they're keeping themselves in this map a lot better than they were on Split just so far.
Yeah, and objectively, this is a defensive sided map, but just depending on your composition, you can make this a very balanced map. I think that's one of the benefits of Ascent being in the map pool for so long. ISO pulling up shields, not getting anything, taking a little bit of damage, I think.
Yeah, and suddenly things are going all right for Team Ali here, taking down to Paso, Cloud, Ryan, the whole 9 yards for Team Ryan. It only leaves Trace here alive and on the wrong side of a smoke. She does have spike control, but she's about to get pretty aggressively pushed here by Team Ali. They're just gonna overwhelm her into a main there. So Team Ali just still putting up a pretty dominant performance here.
And like, to continue what I was saying earlier, is Ascent's one of those maps where it's just been in the map pool for so long to the point you can play it like it's an attack sided map and a defensive sided map just based off of your composition. Normally it is a defensive sided map, however, because of the different choke points and the access for mid, really whoever controls mid controls the round.
Yeah, mid is a huge thing to worry about here on Ascent. It looks like Napaso, knowing that, is going to peek out into mid, look right outside of Market, but the ISO ultimate is used. It catches Trace, and she's left to fight for her life in this ultimate. She does come out on top with the Sheriff kill. Oh my goodness, Trace finding a huge pick to Ascent. Team Ryan up for what could be a very good round, and knowing that they're going to use their KO ultimate to, you know, work off that momentum that Trace has built them in order to get this bomb planted. And now they've got to watch out for Heaven. Looks like Rewind looking like he was going to peek out of that smoke and then backed up. Rapasso being really aggressive, spraying through Ryan's smoke there, trying to do any HP damage possible. But all he's got to do is just wait for time to tick up because it's all up to Team Ali here to get this retake cooking. And they do get it started off by taking down Paso. Cloud able to get that trade, and Moose also finding 2 for himself there. Cloud will be the one to finish it off, but man, Trace was really the MVP in the early stages of that round, especially just getting that kill in the ISO ultimate with the Sheriff.
And I gotta see this replay again. Really great shots by both Moose and Cloud. I love that flick, and at the end I do want to comment on that finisher too. I think that's probably one of the better finishers I've seen, with the exception of the Spectrum. That will always have a place in my heart.
That song is such an earworm. The Spectrum sound. If you guys know it, that's the one. That's the one. Here we are into the next round. Team Ryan looking to equalize things heading into this round. Good start by Cloud, who finds the pick onto Rewind, but still they have got to get this bomb down and hopefully set up a post plant that's as strong as the ones that they've been able to put up in the last couple rounds here. They haven't closed door into market yet, so they've still got to worry about that because Ryan's smoke has dissipated there, and the retake is coming in from CT with a lot of ISO utility being used off the bat, and now the retake will try and find its way onto the site. Trace, though, holding down the fort for Team Ryan, although Eugene finds a pick on to pass, so does Void, and they've cleared out so much space here. They found their way on this bomb site, and now it's all up to Moose here to keep this bomb ticking. He peeks out. It does find the pick onto Void, but he's got to push through the smoke with the shorty. And oh my goodness, what an epic play there from Julili. Oh wow.
Man, that shorty just did not do enough damage. That's kind of unlucky for Moose, but Team Ryan had such a great post plant. They were in really good positions. It just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, and that was that round really came down to the wire. And that was a really just a nail biter of a round. And we haven't really had many of those, you know. I feel like most rounds have been pretty decisive, both on here on Ascent, but also on Split. So to see a round come down to a 1v1 like that, maybe an indication for what is to come as Paso invests his jet knives early on. Not going to quite clear anybody out yet. But similar to what we saw in the last round here, Team Ryan just having no issue at all entering here onto B site.
And Team Ryan has a really good post plant set up here with 2 players left in main. So might try to push up.
Oh, and he pushes up. He's dancing around the Sova ultimate to find himself 2 kills, one of which with a classic. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness.
That was just pure art to watch.
Wow. Yeah, Napasso just... Yeah, so let's take another look at this. Yeah, has his knives out. He has to work around this Sova ultimate and somehow like uses all of his knives and then pulls out the classic and gets that pick.
Yeah, well done. Team Ryan is still in this game. This is a very close game, a lot closer than last game. There's only 1 round differential, and it's looking good for Team Ryan now because Team Ali has a save round.
And Napasso just entering like he's been doing for his team, but this time it's going to be on this A site. And like you said, Team Ali is kind of forced into a save round now. So this should be another one in the books for Team Ryan if they play their cards right. It looks like Napasso's going to be aggressive and swing out into 2 flashed players, although Ghost, which I think is one of the best guns in the game, able to take down Napasso and dwindle down Team Ali's numbers thanks to Moose and Cloud making things work into Tree.
Man, Moose and the flanks, like Moose has been flanking the entire game. Last game, not flanking, just lurking in general. The lurks coming from his gameplay on Viper and now on Cypher have really kept Team Ryan in this game.
Yeah, now they've leveled the playing field 4-4. This is a much better start than what they had on to Split, and for the first time this series we see an operator being purchased. It is for the side of Team Ali, and it's being positioned looking into mid. Doesn't look like anyone from Team Ryan's going to be unlucky enough to push into that operator. Instead, they're going to be pushing this B site yet again. They do have Moose on the lurk into mid, which could be really good to clear out any defenders into market. And Team Ali this time just being a lot more aggressive in their retake. They've already made their way onto the site. They've killed Ryan and Apaso, and they don't look like they have any plans of stopping. The operator does get a kill, but Moose is left alive on the lurk, but the bomb is going to be defused at any moment now. And that is exactly what will happen for Team Ali, who was finally able to pull off a retake there.
It was definitely a risky play for Rewind to retake with an op. I saw the jet dash to Boathouse, which again is really risky because then you're engaging in a close quarters scenario, and that's not really optimal for an op.
Yeah, like you said, surprised that Rewind was actually able to get an op kill under those conditions and still is able to hold on to that operator. It looks like he is looking to peek the same angle as last time, and that's going to be into tiles. Will Moose be unlucky enough to no, actually not have to worry about that because of the smoke. But Ryan's about to get pushed into and lands a 140 head dig. Hate to see it with the Phantom, although Trace does get a kill through that smoke, and so does Napaso. So it's a really good start for Team Ryan in terms of their mid control so far. They really haven't bought themselves any space on either site, and that's going to start to become an issue, but not unless Napaso just kills them all first, of course. And now it's all up to Moose here, but Trace actually going to be the one to find that last pick, and they didn't even need to get onto site that round.
Yeah, Napaso causing so much chaos in mid. Very cool, calm and collected, especially after that operator peak. Didn't get the first shot, but still had retribution and secured the kill, and then got 2 more down by Market. Very impactful kills, at least for Team Ryan. And again, this is a very close game, a lot closer than last game. And this is what we like to see. We like to see these very close games, because then we get some real competition between these two.
And yet again, it's going to be another B execute for Team Ryan. Napaso just being really sneaky into the smoke. It's going to updraft dash back to safety and happily take that kill with him. Cloud peeks out into CT and sees more than he was bargaining for, so backs away to safety instead. Tries to peek into market. There's a flash, but Napaso will be the one to get that pick. And all that leaves is the players who are retaking in from CT for Team Ali here. And now they've got to work around the smoke, and Moose just spamming into that smoke, able to find the pick onto Rewind. And now there's just one player left, Void, who is left in that smoke and is about to get flanked by Cloud, maybe even knifed. Oh, Void keeps his dignity and avoids the knife. Oh my goodness.
Last round in
I can definitely tell that was a little bit of a scare for Void, because you don't often see a KO coming up right in your face with a knife. But Team Ryan able to secure that kill, make it their first lead of the night.
Yeah, you're right. It is their first lead of the night, and that's huge for Team Ryan, because they might be a completely different team once they have this confidence working for them. They're just going to overwhelm Rewind with so much utility off the bat, being positioned into A main. Rewind going to back up right behind Generator, wait for a push to come his way. He has Void to work with on site here, but it does look like Team Ryan is defaulting for the first time this half, and it's working out beautifully for them, as Napaso and Moose have bought themselves a lot of room, but Napaso not quite landing the knife shots. And he's going to have to just rely on his other weapons there. But still, bomb planted. Cloud going to be on the lurk here. But for the most part, we're going to have to see another retake here from Team Ali if they want to put a stop to this run that Team Ryan has had.
It's definitely going to be one big fight. Cloud needs to get back over to the site to help his teammates.
Oh, and Void just taking names here and finding his way onto the site, onto Bomb too. And suddenly Bomb's about to be defused, actually, and it was. Even though Cloud, you know, got 3 massive kills there, it's too little too late. And Team Ryan will end up losing that round.
Yeah, that little delay by the ISO on the Cooksies on Team Ali was just enough for Cloud to show up a little later than he needed to. A little engagement they had up by Top Cat was just enough time to stop him from rotating completely and getting that defuse. So well played by Cooksies there, and we are in a half switch.
Yeah, so the half switch side, so Team Ryan will be on the defense. And they do have some smokes to work off of here just to really slow down the push that was starting to cook up for Team Ali, but will Rewind decide to push through. Looks like, yes, he does get full flashed though. That still does not look like Team Ali wants to stop, but although Team Ryan is responding, trades do come back and forth though, leveling the playing field as things stand right now. Bomb able to get planted for Team Ali here. And now Team Ryan just has a second to breathe and really cook up a retake. Looks like Ryan's just trying to peek outside from tree there. Tries to right click with the classic and it doesn't quite work out for him. Moose trying to take some space and does so with a ghost. And now it's up to Napasso and his trusty Sheriff to close out that round. And what an important round to win for Pistol, especially it being an even 6-6 half.
Yeah, I think that was their first pistol round of the night too, which is huge for Team Ryan because now they're still in the lead. If they can maintain this lead, especially on defense, they have a pretty well-rounded defensive comp. They can definitely hold on to this and make this a 1-1 match, but we'll have to see how Team Ali responds. They are known for being really aggressive and running down site with 5 players like they did last match, like they did last round.
Yeah, and they're just really keeping each other on their toes, you know? Team Ryan kind of switched up the way that they were attacking when they were on the attack half, and now Team Ali, how will they be able to keep Team Ryan on their toes? Looks like they're trying this 5-person A push yet again. They had a problem in the retake for this site in the previous round, but this time they're approaching things a lot more slowly than they did. They actually do have a lurk cooking up as well, and that may be helpful information for later, but right now Team Ali has bigger fish to fry as Napasso does a lot of damage on the flank. It's actually going to quickly try to scale up into Kappa. Rewind is waiting there, but Napasso gets that kill regardless, although he does end up getting traded. It's going to be a full-scale rotate through mid and potentially into market, and knowing that Moose has actually repositioned himself in a good place to hold down B site if that's the case. Meanwhile, Trey's trying to fight for this mid space, not going to find any success there. And yeah, it is going to be all up to Moose here to make his utility work in his favor to slow down this presumed B push that's going to be happening in from market. And Cloud getting a pick, so does Moose. That's going to really slow down Team Ali here. They haven't really found themselves in a position to get this bomb planted, and now they've got trips to work through, and Moose just spamming through, and it will be Cloud and Ryan, though, to clean up that round. And suddenly it just looks like Team Ryan is really in their element.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. They definitely look like they're coherent with a lot of their utility usage, just everything, their play style, their chemistry. Looks like they definitely have switched a few things up and took this game into their own hands. They still have a few decent guns to work with for this round. But Moose is on a really, or having a really good game. You know, it's not typical though. And Napasso really early into the round, early escape.
So much utility coming back and forth. I'm really surprised there was only one kill there when it's all said and done, and it will be going in the favor of Team Ryan. But what a chaotic start to this round, and Cooksy's being really aware of a potential flank that could have cooked up. And so far, Napasso and Ryan just kind of being really patient here on A site. You know, they do have smoke to buy them a little bit more protection, but and they also do have just really good positioning to hold a crossfire there, but still looks like most of their efforts are going to be on this site. But do they need to potentially consider mid? And I think Moose has a killer flank cooking up. Yeah, he does get the pick, and it throws down the hat too to sell out all of Team Oli's positioning here. That is going to give Team Ryan a lot of information to rework off of. And they're going to focus on holding down this A site. Still, a trade comes through into tree. But still, you know, they have a lot of places to worry about. They have mid to worry about. They have A site to worry about. And oh my goodness, Ryan holding on to 7 HP and a dream. And now Team Ryan here is in a really comfortable position with only 10 seconds left to hold down this site. And Ryan whiffs a little bit, but it happens to the best of us. And Trace will be the one to finally put a stop to that round. But yeah, it's all fun and games here. You hear a lot of giggles coming through.
And Napasso, like Rewind, buys an up, and we do see a timeout coming from Team Ali by, I'm assuming, the coach's swirls.
Yeah, and I do like this timeout for Team Ali because, you know, like you said, they haven't found themselves in a deficit like this before. And Team Ryan just on a roll, you know, even with, you know, a whiff being here and there, you know, even with a couple of those kills not really going their way, they've managed to keep their mental in a good place and have really worked well as a team here onto the attack side, but also here on defense. So yeah, we certainly do have a game on our hands here. And, you know, there's a lot of, you know, funny little moments here in the chaos of all the seriousness of competition. We saw almost a knife kill.
Yeah, I'm just ready to see somebody knife somebody. You know, maybe we might see that this game, maybe next game. But I feel like next game is going to be a lot. You know, if Team Ryan takes this match, then the next game is going to be a lot more competitive, a lot more locked in, so that the winner of this will claim the internals champion for all of the bragging rights. Because, you know, what do you want to flex?
Yeah, all summer they get to brag them winning their internals tournament. So high stakes here, as a lot of aggression right off the bat puts Cloud to only 2 HP. He's forced to back up into safety into tree and just barely hold on to any form of life. Meanwhile, Napasso holding a really aggressive angle with an operator, actually, and is just kind of waiting for a peek to come his way. And I do like his positioning there a lot because it does look like Team Ali is kind of defaulting this for the most part, and they're waiting for a swing. Napasso being a little bit more aggressive with his operator pays off. He does find a pick there. Rewind responds, and Ryan does end up getting that pick up into tree and TP's back to safety, but it's just getting swarmed by all of these players just running him down. And suddenly Team Ali have found themselves a free site here, and Napasso still has his operator, or he's gonna throw it, which I actually do like because it's really difficult to retake with that, especially when time is of the essence now that this bomb is planted. Napasso just kind of waiting to clear every angle strategically. Eugene hits a crazy shot, but Moose gonna pick up Napasso's operator actually and finds a pick with it. But still time is dwindling down, but Moose doesn't care. He's got 2 operator picks under his belt, and he's just looking to work with Trace here to close out this round. Void flashes and peeks through, but Trace will be the one to secure Team Ryan with another round win. Yeah, diffuses a spike in the nick of time and picks up the operator for the cherry on top. Wow.
Yeah, Team Ali definitely has to switch something up here. They have this 2 duelist comp, which definitely helps the attack, but like again, depending on what comp you run, it makes it look like a defensive or attack sided map. And right now, this definitely looks like a defensive sided map toward with Ryan or Team Ryan in favor.
And still, Trace being able to not only win that round, but pick up that operator is huge. So able to give it back to Napaso. And that operator is huge to have when you're on the defensive side of this map, especially looking down these huge angles like mid. But for now, speaking of mid, it actually does look like Team Ali is able to benefit off of taking all that space, and Napaso yet strikes again with that operator position into B garage, but still Rewind taking some space here up into tree does get Ryan down, and now he's kind of just waiting for the rest of his team to back him up here before he decides to take A site presumably. And yeah, they've caught Team Ryan completely out of position here.
Spike planted.
Cloud's position for a really good flank, but Rewind, beautiful shot, takes out Cloud.
Yeah, it does look like Team Ryan. Oh, Napaso actually in the ISO ultimate does get picked. Trace tries to peek outside of the smoke. Rewind gets that pick onto Trace, and it's just Moose who's going to happily run away with this operator. But he's going to fight to keep this operator in his hand as his own brother's trying to jump peek him. He's just going to run away and, not get sucked into what could have been a scary fight. And he actually will turn around in the nick of time and get that pick on his own brother. But still, Team Oli's going to want to hunt down this operator at all costs, and Moose knows that. He's going to be on the offense here, and he does lose the operator. But what a round for Rewind. Oh my goodness, 4 kills.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. Getting space mid and then getting the team on site is, I feel like that was the good play. Like we've said before, taking space on mid is everything on this map, and Ali has a little bit of a motivation to get back in this game, because now Team Ryan is down on a sort of a half buy, or a team half buy. Not doing the best on economy, so this is a good recuperation moment for Ali to re-up here and try to decrease this score differential between the two.
And knives are invested for Napaso on Team Ryan, but to counter, it looks like the KG ultimate is also invested for Team Ali, and it will be used to try and defend this A site with Cloud into hell. Does get a pick and is down in his own KO ultimate. Eugene, though, getting a ton of success here on this A site, and Team Ryan only has Trace alive with 23 HP, and it will be a really strong site execute for Team Ali. They didn't even have to plant bomb at all, and they held on to 3 of their 4 ultimates that they actually had available to them.
Yeah, speaking of ultimates, Team Ali still has 3. Team Ryan has 2. Moose almost has his ult. He's at 6 points. And yet again, Moose is having a fantastic game at 21 and 10. I think the lurks that he's had are phenomenal. He's a very good lurker, and we're definitely seeing that kind of skill and that just the understanding of what to do on a lurk. And lots of shots being traded. Napaso does end up taking out Eugene. It is kind of crucial for the post plant. And
oh, Sova ultimate actually gonna really delay this plant thanks to Trace. Although Trace does not quite get a pick with that Sova ultimate, but still buys Team Ryan a good bit of time to get in position here. Napaso with a Deagle trying to peek into B garage. Trace uses her Sova utility to get any information on this site. That ISO utility just gonna make Void creep up into logs, and it's just a bloodbath here on this B site. Who's gonna throw it down his Cypher ultimate. We're down to a 1v2. Time is ticking down. Moose has got to get these 2 picks fast and get on this bomb quickly. He's just getting overwhelmed by this positioning here on site. And it will be a round for Team Ali.
Team Ali is finally starting to find their groove, especially on the attack side. And yeah, this is a very good time for a timeout from Dusty on the side of Team Ryan. And I think that Team Ryan just needs to play a little more comfortably. I think they're losing a lot of engagements, especially in the early round, and that might be something they try to play a little or around and play a little more reactionary and passive, but still have a very tight defense.
Yeah, and I just feel like you said, it looks like Team Ryan has just lost their edge a little bit. They're playing really confident. They were kind of like swinging big and landing their shots, but now it just seems like they look a little like haphazard sometimes. And I like this timeout as kind of just a chance to slow down, take a breather here, because they're still in the lead, by only a round, but they're in a position to actually win map number 2, which is huge if they want any chance of winning the series. So yeah, really crucial place to just take a timeout and kind of coordinate one last push here for Team Ryan.
Both sides have relatively equal guns. Rewind purchasing a Spectre instead of another gun, probably saving from the last round.
Get out of my way.
Napasso looking into tiles, but Moose really aggressively positioned, gonna get sold out by that Sobi utility, and he's forced to back up onto site. And Trace finds a really good early pick with the help of Moose's trips there. And actually, Sova ultimate is invested for Team Ali, and it's being positioned on this B site where suddenly they're just wreaking havoc here. And trades are going back and forth. Suddenly, though, Napasso and Trace working together to have an insane round, especially for Trace, who found 3 for herself on this B site.
Yeah, that timeout definitely worked, and now Team Ryan can see a victory within sight. They're 2 rounds away. Still have to deal with this full buy from Team Ali.
Yeah, they're up against a full buy, but they also have a buy to, match that, So both sides here coming in with a full arsenal. And it looks like Moose gonna try that push again, try that aggression again. This time Napasso is there to kind of make a distraction, although he does get killed. Rewind updrafts, dashes right in front of Trace and does get that pick onto her. It is looking to wreak some havoc here into CT. Sprays through Moose's cage, does not quite find that pick onto Moose, but does a lot of damage in the process. Cloud cooking up a really sneaky flank potentially here. I don't know if Team Ali's gonna be expecting Cloud's positioning, and he does peek out. Cloud finding 2 huge for Team Ryan, and it's all up to him to win this round. He gets it started with another kill. He's passed 3 so far for this round. He's got to make this an ace in order to win this round. He peeks out and tries to clear Boathouse, but Team Ali's gonna really be passive in the angles that they're holding, wait for him to push, and he does swing, and Eugene will be the one to get that closing pick. And we are got a nail biter on our hands here. 10-11 scoreline.
This is what you'd like to see from these 2 teams that have definitely battled it out throughout the entire semester to make their way here. And I'd say this is definitely an equal skill team, or a comparison between teams at least.
Yes, good team balancing done by actually Lynn and Trace are the 2 who actually coordinated all of these internal shenanigans that we're doing. So big thank you to them actually for setting up this whole tournament and really just adminning all of it. So
yeah, big shout out to them. I know Lynn does a lot, contributes a lot to the esports community with a lot of game nights and just coordination.
Yes, they worked hard all semester to set up this lovely tournament, and now we will see which team will close it out. It looks like things are looking really quiet this round. Paso waiting for a swing to come his way. Does a lot of damage to Rewind, and is commenting to this team that this is looking like an A push. Sprays through the smoke. It does get that pick onto Elite, and now he's really bought his team a lot of time here. However, Team Elite taking full advantage of kind of the neglect that's been going on into mid. No one's really been watching mid at all. Paso just now realizing that is going to look into tiles. But still, he's got sight to worry about too. But still, looks like this may end up being a mid to B push if I had to guess. Things are pretty quiet right now. Paso might make contact onto Rewind. Rewind only had little HP. Paso knowing that's going to charge through his own smoke. And it's a Jet versus Jet fight. Which Jet will win? Paso backs up and uses his Vandal to get 4 kills and is hunting for almost an ace. Oh my goodness. Suddenly, Paso becoming just a monster there into Tree. Oh my gosh. Like,
Wow.
when did that happen? It's just,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely victories in sight. So now they're on. Now they're locked in.
Yeah, they're at map point, and to send this series into 3 for real, not even just a for fun 3, like a real competitive map number 3, could be on the horizon here. If Team Ryan can close it out now. Looks like Team Elite's going to be positioned outside of B. Paso holding tiles, just trying to hope a peek comes his way. Not going to get it, though. Instead, Team Ryan's got to really focus on this B site, knowing that they're going to throw down the smoke to try and slow down Rewind. Not going to stop him, though, as he updrafts and dashes onto site. And site itself, undefended. No one's in boathouse. No one's really trying to stop this site push from happening. Instead, they're playing retake on this site, which is an interesting decision because they don't really have ultimates to help them out here.
Yeah, it was a really good decision by Rewind to not jump straight into Boathouse because there's 2, or onto Switch because there's 2 Cypher trips there, and that for sure would have gotten the kill. But now it's a 2v3, 1v3 with Ali still having 1 player and Trace to clean up the round to send Ryan to a map win. It is now 1-1, folks, and this is we've got a match, we got a series on our hands. The next map will be Lotus, which is really exciting because that's always a great map.
Yeah, so they're going to have to fight for it. It's going to come down to the nail of who will get their bragging rights for being the Terps Esports Internals champion. Join us right back after a quick commercial break to catch map number 3.
Whether you're a new publisher or app developer, or if you've been around the block for a little while and you have your own ad ops team, Playwire is developing the solutions and products that are perfect for you.
RAMP stands for Revenue Amplification Management Platform. But really what it does, it helps you make more money per user, and it helps you simplify your business so you can just focus on what matters, which is making great content. So if you think about today's ecosystem, there's so many different pieces to run an ad tech platform.
RAMP brings the entire ad ecosystem under one umbrella. Everything from centralized ad unit creation to piping in those demand sources. We layer on a DMP, and we take care of your data privacy and consent management for you as well. We tie all of that together with robust analytics.
Playwire really offers our publishers 2 different models at this point. We've got the full service model where we come in and we cover everything. And there's now our new self-service model where you can come in and you can say, I just want Playwire to take care of some of these things for me. Another thing that we've had a lot of partners do with us in the past is say, hey, maybe I have a few of my own direct campaigns that I want to run. Or I've even got an ad ops team. I don't know whether Playwire is right for me because those people are doing a good job. We don't want to displace them in favor of Playwire. that's fine. We're happy to bring all the technology that we've put out there, but use it with your own team and with your own ad stack. What does that mean for you as a publisher? It means that you get to leverage all of the revenue maximization technology that we've got in place and still have all of the capabilities and all of the demand partners that you're used to working with. You can have your cake and you can eat it too.
We actually do things at such scale, right? We're serving 70 billion ads a month at this point. That's a huge benefit that we're passing on to the publisher.
Revenue intelligence marries human intelligence with machine intelligence. At its core, revenue intelligence is about taking all the demand that you're already getting and getting more out of it. We want to make it so that you're getting 10% more from your ad inventory without even worrying about who the advertisers are. It's based on us going in and understanding what are the places where we can put additional price pressure on. There's all sorts of situations like this where you can eke out little benefits and add them all up. You're quickly at a point where you are getting that 10, 15, 20% uplift on your revenue without having made any changes in who's actually doing the advertising.
Our DMP is built from the ground up to work in a cookieless environment and not use cookies to basically store, user behavior or anything like that. And it's built right into the RAMP platform.
We can tell advertisers information about user interests, but also user behavior, do it on a massive scale, do it in that real-time way that we also do with our revenue intelligence capabilities, and also do it in a way where we can leverage the size of our network. We're trying to do everything that we can to show you every step of the process of getting an ad onto the page. That means that we've got much richer charts and graphs, a lot more ability to look at a piece of information and drill down on it. Answer that question that maybe you didn't even know that you were asking. We're trying to make you think differently, actually, about your business, about how your business relates to advertising, and reveal all of that through the platform. So analytics are one big piece of it.
It's a constant evolution. We're constantly updating our technology. We're constantly creating the future.
It's a real challenge for publishers these days to navigate advertising technology. It seems like every 6 months there's some new challenge. And at Playwire, we make sure that we take all of that pain away from our publishers so they can focus on their core business of publishing.
Terp Adventures take flight at Stamp. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform, find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the Center for Campus Life, where Terp adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
everybody, welcome back. We're about to head onto map number 3, which I believe, what map did we say map number 3 was?
Lotus.
Lotus? Okay, we're going to be heading on to Lotus, which is another map that's been in the pool for quite a bit now. So this one's for all the marbles, though.
All the bragging rights. And so far we see Moose hovering over a Euro. Nupasso is also hovering over a Euro, so I think you might be right. We might see a Yoru in this game. I think they're just fighting over who wants to play Yoru at this point. And we might see 2 Yorus.
That's funny. I just had a suspicion we're gonna see a Yoru. Oh, mind the technical difficulties. Yeah, I had a suspicion that we were gonna see a Yoru, and I hope we see that come into fruition because I feel like that'd be fun for map number 3, especially here on Lotus. But yeah, so yeah, this one is for all the marbles. If I had to guess, I would say that Team Ryan would go for a bit more of a standard comp because that's what we've been seeing, versus Team Ali has been kind of being more daring in terms of the agents that they're picking.
And we might get not exactly a mirrored comp, but roughly the same thing with the exception of the change in Sentinel. Man, I really wanted to see a Waylay.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a Waylay today, but we for sure are gonna see a Yoru. So we'll get to see how that plays out. But like you said, other than that, the comps are looking kind of similar. We have the same duelist pick here on either side. And Moose is going to play his comfort pick Cypher, which he had a really good map onto Ascent. So, yeah, a lot. Yeah, he did a really good job. He typically does the lurk for his team.
Yeah, he's been really good on the lurk, both with Viper and Cypher. So both of them have really good lurking capabilities. Viper being able to access her util from anywhere on the map, and then Cypher just covering so much ground to yes, pretty standard comps. We do see the Teho. I think the Teho is pretty common, especially with a breach. I think any combination of Teho, breach, and raise is always a very strong combination, and can be used really well in tandem with each different utility. Because I know, like, if you pair Teho with any other agent that has some sort of damaging ability or stun ability, then you can cover so much ground, and it's very, very aggressive too.
All right, looks like Team Ali on the attack, and he's starting this one off right outside of Mound here, looking towards Seaside. Rewind gonna satchel in right in the face of Moose, who will win this battle. Will be Rewind barely, as he's only down to 1 HP there. But regardless, a kill is a kill, and now he's actually on the hunt for more, and now able to upgrade that weapon to a Ghost. He's got to work with Ali here right behind him, but Trace and Cloud respond for Team Ryan. They're actually going to make this retake look a little bit more optimistic than it did before, as Ryan and Nupasso are the ones working together from Waterfall here, as bombs already planted, so they've got to get on this site sooner rather than later and start working on this spike. Ryan peeks out and does get that right-click kill, and now luckily as a smoke, and it's going to place another one for some extra insurance, and it gets another right click, and actually Cloud somehow got a knife. We didn't get to see that, but wow, that is going to start map number 3 off already with some hastiness in the air.
And check off your bingo list, because we do finally have a knife this series. We should have made bingo cards before this. That would have been really funny.
We should have. I think there's a lot of funny things we could have, like knife, Yoru. Yeah, there's a lot of curveballs that could have came during this game.
Yeah, have we? I don't think we've seen an ace yet, have we?
No, but the knight is young. Maybe we'll see an ace. Maybe it'll be from either Ali or Ryan themselves here.
This might be the map we see everything on, and Cloud takes out Cooksies with a well-placed nade in Nupasso, just steamrolling in, getting to Cloud right behind.
yeah, really decisive round for Team Ryan, especially Cloud there. Had a massive round, just the confidence to just go in, like you said, just steamroll in from a main there to give Team Ryan a 2-round advantage. And now Team Ryan is buying up, and which is, or actually no, sorry, Team Ali is going to be buying up here to try and mediate the damage that's already been done to the scoreboard here. So this could be a potentially really big round for Team Ryan if they win and pull off this thrifty to pass. So starting things off on the right foot, gets a ghost kill in his full flash, but is able to just hold on for dear life and actually finds another pick and is on the hunt for even more damage, and he's just steamrolling through the
Are we going to see our ace?
Oh
no.
My goodness, almost an ace there. And hey, I will die on this hill. I think the Ghost is one of the best guns in the game.
I agree with you, and I think that was the I think that's No Passo's second 4K of the night. We've seen both No Paso and Rewind fight for 4Ks on either side, and this is going to send Team Ali into a very early timeout. I think it might be a questionable timeout, but I definitely see the vision here. Team Ryan is playing very aggressive, and Team Ali just does not have an answer for it.
Yeah, I mean, that was almost an ace, and like I said, it's on a thrifty round, so that is certainly not the round that you want to lose for if you're Team Ali. And I think knowing that, losing a buy round like that off of, the pistols is a big problem if you're looking at the bigger scope of this half, because you lose a buy round, you're likely not going to win the next if you don't have any weapons working for you, and then from there it's a snowball effect. So I do like this timeout here, just to kind of say, okay, how can we maybe stop this from happening? But yeah, they're gonna have to really hit their shots here with their deagles that most of them have bought up in the face of all the vandals that are going to be on the other side of things. All right, it does look like Team Ali is going to be slowly but surely making their way outside of this B site. They're going to use that Your utility to buy them a lot of space, though. Trace and Napasso have other plans as they do each get a pick for themselves. Napasso's cooking up a pretty crazy flank here potentially, but Moose, meanwhile, just is steamrolling through that door. Oh my goodness, Team Ryan just looking like a completely different team all of a sudden.
No, I definitely agree. They're just so in control of this game, and we are going to go into a quick tech pause because I believe Eugene got kicked from the game. You never know what'll happen in video games. There's always something that happens no matter what game you're playing. But the nice thing is you can just get right back into it, get right back into the action. So at maximum, it might take another 30 seconds. But until then, Team Ryan, it's like they're, like you said, they're a whole different team compared to the last couple matches they played. The last match was a pretty close match, but this match it's like, the first map, Team Ali was dominating. Then it was a pretty close game. Now it's Team Ryan's turn to dominate. So, are we going to see a replay of map 1? Except it's on the other side now. Who knows? But so far, it's looking like all the momentum is swinging into Team Ryan's direction, and it just doesn't look like how you're gonna. It's like trying to stop an unstoppable force at this point.
Yeah, and this is exactly the time to rise to the challenge here. Team Ryan just absolutely getting in their element at exactly the right time here on map number 3 in the finals for Terps and Turtles. So if there's any time for them to really shape up their gameplay, it's right here and right now. That's exactly what they're doing. So hopefully once this tech pause gets sorted, I think a few of the players for Team Ali are playing together in Richie, so they're certainly working through those issues together. Yeah, here we are on the other side of this tech pause. hopefully soon. Maybe I spoke too soon. No, okay, here we are. And each side coming in with a full buy. No ultimates online yet, but will Team Ryan be able to keep up this momentum? Looks like a bit of a default compared to what we've seen in the past. The Paso showing that aggression that he has historically shown outside of A. But meanwhile, it does look like Rewind's going to satchel in right in front of Moose yet again. And this time Moose going to back up to safety behind that smoke and kind of give up sight here and just hope his team can really cook up a retake. But he's getting pushed actually by Rewind. Moose does get killed there. So how will Team Ryan be able to respond without such an important piece of their puzzle alive? And Ryan, Cloud both getting killed. Trace finally able to get a pick here for Team Ryan. Is just trying to increase that lead, but cannot quite do so. It just leaves Napaso here between a rock and a hard place in a smoke, although he does get that pick onto Rewind. Satchels onto sight, but looks like Team Oli will be very passively positioned up around Mound here and just use a lot of that Teo utility to buy them even more time. And Team Oli has found themselves on the board.
I think that tech pause helped them a little bit, just get a little bit of extra time to settle some things down. But yeah, Team Elite is finally on the board now, but the only problem is they're still 3 rounds down, and most of Team Ryan is going to get their ult pretty soon. Actually, both sides are going to get their ults pretty soon. Rewind already having the Razel, so we might see some kind of play here. But again, No Paso pushing out into a main along with, I believe, Trace too. Yeah, I believe that is Trace.
They're not going to get a push, a swing. It looks like they're going to have to actually be the one to swing. It does work regardless of who is being aggressive there. It works out for Napaso, but meanwhile, this Yoru ultimate's actually on B side, and it's going to be used in tandem with that Raze rocket. I don't know if Rewind. Oh my goodness! Ryan found an insane pick to deny the Raze ultimate, and he's Yoru flashed for the moment, but now he has Napaso to work alongside with him, although Spike has been planted here on this B side. Napaso peeks out, gets a pick on Eugene, and is weaving his way through some more bullets there, and he's really bought Team Ryan so much space on this site, but the job is not done. Spike is on the defuse, and Napaso had a monstrous round. Oh my goodness.
Napaso on for the second, I think third 4K of the night. He's had such an amazing game, just series.
And everyone stepped up there. Man, Ryan denying that Raze ultimate off rip just had huge implications for the late stages of that round, and that is a really good way for Team Ryan to respond. Yeah, I think that was probably the most impactful kill that Team Ryan had that last round, was getting that kill in the Raze, because that gave Team Elite so much space that they needed to have some kind of miracle to work back with, and that happened, and Ryan definitely delivered. And we see Team Ali again doing their old but faithful 5-stack towards a site. They've done that numerous times, but Napaso sneaks around. He might be able to take 1, 2, or maybe a little more. He gets 1, 2, gets out with 2. That's a very good play from Team Ryan, because now they have man advantage in this round, and Ryan almost gets the shot off. Oh, he's still looking for that pick, and now is behind the smoke. But Eugene and Rewind getting 2 really important picks here on this A side. Rewind still going to push out into Trace. Trace does respond, though, putting things at a 2v2 with Spike being planted for Team Elite. How will Moose and Trace here cook up a retake? Looks like they're going to join up before they try to make their way onto site. It does look like both of these players for Team Oli are going to be on site. site, and Moose might have really good timing, and it will be Trace who gets the pick onto Eugene, and Moose gonna work around and peek out into tree. Is fully flashed, but is gonna set up a cage to work with here, and is gonna try and tease this corner, and eventually does swing and get that pick onto Void. And there we see the duo there who pulled off that retake to even further increase this lead that Team Ryan has built up.
Yeah, it was really, really nice that Trace had some extra utility to use to flush out. Who was it? Was it who was it that was still alive? Was it Void or Eugene?
I think it was Void. Yeah.
It was Void. That's right. So yeah, just a little extra util from the breach, and that's why you want to use a breach on a lot of these maps, because there's just so many good places to position a flash, position an aftershock, position a second flash. And I mean, I know I've been on the receiving end of a lot of really annoying breach util. And Team Ali is switching things up a little bit, going 5-man B. Rewind with a Bucky gets shut down by Napasso.
And oh my goodness, there's so many ultimates going down left and right. Trace and Cloud, Napasso all doing their parts in a very quick round for Team Ryan to put their lead at 6. Oh my goodness, Team Ryan they used, I think, 2 of the ultimates they had available to them, but man, the ultimates are starting to kind of accumulate on either side here, and you know, that could definitely stir the tides a little bit, but so far it's been a really dominant showing.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if we saw Napasso get a third, I think, yeah, definitely a third ultimate in the first half. Napasso's already 17-4. That's
crazy.
That is crazy.
He doesn't have any plans of stopping by the looks of things, being really aggressive on A site, gets a nade kill to open up this round. Oh my goodness, he is just unstoppable right now. And Ryan purchases an operator and has a backup weapon, though. He's going to pick up his Vandal there to try and win this fight against Rewind. Going to throw a flash there to further slow down Rewind. Actually sprays through and successfully gets that pick. Napasso somehow also just being everywhere all at once, getting all the picks. And it's going to really just dwindle down Team Ali's numbers already. Oh, and Trace patiently waiting for a flake to come her way. She does get flashed off of that angle. Napasso does get killed by Void. So this is actually a doable round for Team Ali if they're able to get out of this kind of pickle that they found themselves in their own spawn.
I was quite worried when Trace and oh my god, why can I when Trace and Cloud got lined up, because I thought that was the actual Yoru that was pushing through. So I was a little worried that they were going to get collided, which would have been really good for Ali, and that's exactly what they could have needed to get back in this game. But no, it just turned out to be a fake. And now the alarm bells must be sounding because the Cypher trip was destroyed, and it's going to be a B hit.
Yeah, looks like Team Ali will be able to get this bomb down, but Cloud is just knocking on the door, waiting to cook up this retake. He's going to swing out. Boy does get the pick to get his third for the round, but meanwhile, Moose kind of tucked away in this corner, going to wait for Trace to find that pick, peeking out from heaven, and now it's in a 1v1, and Trace will be the one to clutch it. And again, that's just going to further increase this lead, but it's like even in rounds where, you know, it hasn't been a huge differential right off the bat, thanks to something like Napasso, it's players like Trace and Moose who are still clutching up in the later stages of these rounds and in 1v1s and 1v2s, and you know, everyone is just really doing their part here for Team Ryan.
Yeah, good job to Void, though. He was on track for an ace. I think we've seen 3 4Ks already this game. They're just teasing us for an ace now. I would really like to see an ace, you know, maybe on the side of Team Ali, so they can get back in this game. We can see a very close game 3. But we're getting to the end of the half pretty soon, so
Oh, and Ryan just trying to take an early fight, throws the flash, and it does pay off for him. Meanwhile, looks like this is going to try to be a C-side execute, and Moose Napasso really holding down the fort here on C-side, and Napasso just continuing this monstrous game that he's had. Oh my goodness. It's got to be at like, what, 20 kills now or something?
Maybe even more, I think 22.
Jeez.
22 and 1/2 is crazy. Like, that's the average I get over one entire game.
Yeah, yeah.
But like 1/2 is insane.
Yeah, he's having a monstrous game, and you know, like you said, it's only the first half.
It is 22, I guessed right.
Oh
Surprising.
my goodness, this is crazy.
Ellie, come see one knife fight.
Okay, will Team Ali be able to put a stop to Napasso's reign? Looks like Napasso's trying to push up with the Vandal in hand and throws his nade or his rocket to try and get a pick on Eugene, and does also get a pick with that Vandal. Finally, Rewind able to put a stop to Napasso's reign there. But Spike has been down actually, and oh my, what is it's a brother versus brother knife fight. Outside of Mao,
Moose gets it.
Oh my goodness, so shenanigans to the max here in map number 3.
Yeah, you love to see it. That's always the kind of the nice thing to bring us back down to just some funny moments. So.
Hey, I'm not a Star Wars fan, but there's got to be a Star Wars reference to be made, right?
Yeah, like, you and my brother, Anakin.
Kills me, I swear.
No, I love you.
Yeah, how will this brother feud continue to play out here in map number 3? We will see. Oh, it's gonna
looks
be
like it's gonna be
fight.
another knife fight.
This is so silly. Meanwhile, Rewind is all business here with the raise nade. Oh, and Trace actually able to get that pick, but she ends up getting traded by the raise nade. Spike down here on B site.
Beautiful shot by Napasso. Just not letting go. 3K for Napasso.
Oh my goodness.
And Moose again with another knife win.
Oh my goodness. And that fight happened really early, and they're just waiting for it to come down to them before they, you know, let the knife decide the fate of that round.
Yeah, and I wonder, you know, is this going to be another, is this going to be a funny round for this 13th match or 13th round in this game? You know, I would like to see a big knife fight to end some things off, because that would be pretty funny.
Maybe, because now we have entered the half switch, so Team Ryan's going to be on the attack, and at least Ali, it just looks like he has his knife out, is ready to just run down.
Yeah, and Napasso with 27 kills.
Oh, and Ali's going to actually hide behind Mount. He's about to get overwhelmed, though, by just the sheer numbers here of players just overwhelming any mound positioning there. And Moose on the work and gets the pick onto Rewind. But with Napasso getting taken down, this is certainly doable for Team Ali. But they've completely lost spike control here, and they're just going to be kind of shooting through smokes to try and do any damage. But it's going to have to be a retake for them. He gets the pick onto Moose. Cloud does respond, but still, Bomb is ticking down here. Team Ryan has got to, you know, keep their ground here in the face of what looks like it's going to be a retake, with Eugene having a really strong showing here, finding 3 picks for himself, and now Cloud caught in a smoke, forced to push out of it, and Eugene just has this killer round of 4K, another one, you know, just not quite an ace still, but man.
Really teasing us with an ace, like, just somebody get 5, somebody just get 1 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, Team Ali does get another round win on the board. Maybe this is just the defensive side of map and we're just ignorant to it.
Yeah, maybe it's going to be like a huge run for Team Ali, you know, anything.
I mean, if Team Ryan did it, Team Ali could do it.
It's true, and it didn't look like, you know, there was any knife fights going on that round, so, you know, some serious tone shift here. Looks like Rewind looking to pull in the Paso and be aggressive into a main on the race pick. And it's actually going to be an Paso versus Rewind fight. Paso only has a classic to work with, trying to right-click his way to victory. But it will be Moose and Trace to get the picks for Team Ryan. And the numbers are actually kind of dwindled here for Team Ryan, with Moose getting an outlaw pick. It kind of levels the playing field a little bit more. But you know, Paso only 31 HP. Then Team Ryan still does have this bomb control though. They do know that there's at least one player breakable, but they still have really struggled to make way onto the site. Now they've got to be aware of this flank. It looks like Moose has eyes on it, but they're about to get pinched here. Moose just waiting for his brother to peek on the flank, and does catch eyes on Void though. Paso trying to get the pick on the Yoru, and whoa, what a shot from Paso to put things down. A 1v1 with he only has 4 HP, and it will be Void with a Deagle in hand to close it out for Team Ali. And that was kind of a painfully slow round.
No, I agree, but like it's all just mind games from there. It's a 2v2. You're basically pinched, so you got to figure out if there's any possible way to get out of this. And Team Ali looks like they're bringing this back a little bit. I hope I didn't caster curse that, because I would like to see a pretty close game, or at least Team Ali come back a little bit.
yeah. I mean, anything is possible here. You know, we've seen some crazy things in the studio this year. This would not be the craziest. Although it's hard when you have someone like the Paso who's knocking on the door of 30 picks this game. And meanwhile, Rewind and Moose are fighting it out. What a
Beautiful shot by Rewind.
Oh my goodness. Meanwhile, it's a full-fledged C hit here with the Paso just kind of hiding in that smoke with the Vandal in hand. And Bomb's still not planted, surprisingly, yet, as trades are still going back and forth. Finally, Bomb's starting to get planted, although Cloud and Rewind here. Oh, no.
There's a knife!
Oh, not the teabagging, too. Oh, my goodness. It's just Void now. Left for Team Ali here, as Bomb is starting to tick down more and more, and Team Ryan's going to be really patient with it. And Void just trying to peek out, maybe get an exit frag here or there, but he's like walked onto site surprisingly. He actually might have, yeah, I think he has time if he sticks it. Is he about to win this round?
Oh. What?
That was just a complete oversight. By, oh my goodness, you can see it on their face. Just a complete oversight by Team Ryan. Oh, I'm speechless a little bit. Wow.
What just happened?
He just timinged his way onto site and walked and got on bomb, and I think just Team Ryan miscalculated it. He had well enough time to defuse that bomb.
Team Ryan's still keeping a lot of their guns too. Team Ali needs to buy up whatever they can to stay in this game. The pressure's on for Team Ryan now, because Team Ali seems to have some kind of footing in this game now. It might just be the defensive side.
It might just be. We're going to have to see how the rest of this half plays out. But yeah, Team Ryan really struggling to get a win here on the attack side of things. And right now they're posted up here outside of the C site. They haven't really made any progress in terms of space, but they're kind of just making their presence known here. But there are a few rotates in order right now for Team Ali, and that's going to kind of prompt a rotate for Team Ryan to try and consider maybe B-side as an option, although they're kind of sold out by Void's Tejo utility, and they've got to watch out for Rewind holding down this A-side pretty aggressively. Meanwhile, Paso on the lurk, getting picks to go in his favor. And now we see the push and Rewind holding down the fort for Team Ryan, or for Team Ali for the moment, but still we're seeing trades on all over the map, actually, both A site and C site. It looks like things will end up ending here on this A site with Bomb being positioned that way. Moose yet again on his deadly lurks. Might be able to get a pick here. Yes, does. He's going to throw down his ultimate as a result. But yeah, Team Ryan able to comfortably plant his bomb and actually set up for a post plant for one of the first times here this half. Cloud does get that pick for Team Ryan, and it will be Ryan to close it out to put his team there at series point.
Match point.
And what will we see this round if they decide to do any shenanigans? I think it's just full or straight business from here on out. But we do have a timeout from Dusty. Maybe a little BMing from the side of Team Ryan because now they're at 12. I can see him waving from the casting booth.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, it would have to be an epic comeback for Team Elite to say the least. And what is going on here? I think they're trying to spread the coaching words of wisdom all across the studio of how they can really close out this series and become, you know, the champions of Terps Internals this semester.
I still like this. I still like this timeout from Dusty because that's a total BM move. Because like you gotta create some kind of
like some kind of play.
Yeah. Depending on what we'll see here.
Maybe they're gonna have an insane play to close out this round. You never know.
I mean, hey, go out on a bang.
Rewind, get a satchel up aggressively, not going to be met with any picks. Ooh, Ryan puts things at a good start for Team Ryan. The Paso further increases that lead, getting a pick with his rocket. And now Team Ryan is just looking to find these last 3 picks and become the Terps Esports Internals champion. Will be able to get this pick onto Rewind, yeah. And it will be Team Ryan and friends, or also known as Team D, for those who were keeping up with their normal names throughout the season. And they are our Terps Esports Internals champions. So huge congrats to them. But also good job to Team Elite for making it to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, it's just both teams had a very, very great showing. Yeah, we see Ryan, the supposed mascot of the team. So, very, very great way to end the night, and I think that's it's been a great semester, honestly. I think this will be our last official Valorant stream. I'm kind of sad to think about that.
Yes,
for a while.
Everybody say ciao to Hayden, who will be heading to Italy for next semester.
Yep,
so.
yeah, I'll be studying abroad in Florence for the fall semester, so I actually won't be back in the studio for close to 6-7 months, something like that, which is kind of sad to think about. But when I get back, it's going to be a lot of fun getting back in the studio. So.
Yes, well, we also want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank Union on Knox. We also want to thank the Philip Merrill College of Journalism. And lastly, Playwire for making this all possible. So thanks so much for tuning in. And we'll hopefully catch you guys for a stream at some point over the summer, or if not, next semester. So thanks so much, guys.